here on this beautiful, busy 2 for Tuesday. We are jam-packed. At the bottom of the hour, the Rays will win the American League East. Take it or leave it at the bottom of the hour.
None ya.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, 1 hour from now at 3:05, he's back on the program. The CEO of your Tampa Bay Rays, Ken Babby, will call into the show. Obviously, there are big things happening with the Rays on the field. There are big things happening off the field. Hillsborough County Commission meets tomorrow. Public comment is welcome tomorrow morning, followed by the Tampa City Council on Thursday morning. So a chance for you as Rays fans to voice your opinions ahead of votes tomorrow with the County Commission and Thursday with the Tampa City Council. So a yes vote means what? We'll talk to Ken Babby, Rays CEO. He will join me coming up at 3:05. Then at 3:30, oh, wait a minute, this just in. The Rays just scored again. Holy cow. What an offensive explosion last night, and we'll talk to one of the Rays players, a mystery player, if you will. We'll call into the show coming up at 3:30. Who will it be?
None ya.
It's not going to be Eric Neander, I know that. He joins us on Friday pretty much against his own will. Yeah, that's his reaction. It's Friday. He's like, I guess I'll come on. Yeah. But at 3:30, the Rays are hotter than a firecracker. Who's going to join us at 3:30? You're just going to have to tune in and find out, but somebody will be with us at 3:30. And then at 4:30, fill in the blank. Ruben Bain will have blank sacks with the Buccaneers during his rookie season. Fill in the blank is coming up at 4:30.
It's exciting!
It is exciting, Coach. We're on the air to 5:30. And then, ladies and gentlemen, it's our coverage of Rays baseball, the team with the best record in baseball. Your Tampa Bay Rays are in action tonight. Game 2 of their 3-game set against the Baltimore Orioles. Gopher Ball with Ronnie Lane is coming up at 5:30 to get you set for the Rays and the Baltimore Orioles. Oh, my goodness. What a display last night by your Tampa Bay Rays at the Trop. Can the Rays keep up their torrid ways? That is the theme of our opening drive here on a 2 for Tuesday.
Tampa Bay Sports Radio presents the opening drive.
An impressive opening drive.
What an opening drive.
With TKras.
What a show the Rays put on last night at the Trop. And look, the Rays are known for being, that team that utilizes their speed, small ball, aggressiveness, bunting, going from first to third, going from second to home. And if you're Chandler Simpson, all that guy has to do is put it down the line and watch him run. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, goes from home plate to third base faster than our guy, Chandler Simpson, who has been electrifying.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you have. He's like, okay, I'm not in the leadoff spot. It's okay. We're going to do our thing here. Yandy Diaz is going to do his thing in the middle of the lineup, and we're going to set season highs for runs, hits, extra base hits, and we're going to give Sugar Shane McClanahan, all kinds of run support as McClanahan went 5 innings. He wasn't as sharp as he has been, but he didn't need to be last night, and that's the beauty of baseball. Sometimes when you're not on your A game, you find a way to win, and that's what good teams do. And kudos to the Rays, boy, because they jumped all over Trevor Rogers and the Baltimore Orioles. They scored in the first inning, and then they scored 5 times in the second inning, and that seemed like an inning that just would not end, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. Because the Rays came back 2 more in the fourth. Ryan Valade, how about that guy? RBI triple. And then, here comes the Orioles. Yeah, they're coming back. They scored 3 times in the top of the 5th. Oh, it's 8-4. Oh, maybe the Rays, maybe the Rays are going to maybe let up. Nope. Because the Rays came back with 4 more in the 5th, 4 more in the 6th. And then all of a sudden, 8-4 turned into 16-4. Good night. Have a safe drive home. That was pretty much the end of it. And what a collective effort, really, from an entire team perspective, because everybody contributed. Carson Williams was batting ninth. He went 0 for 2. He was one of two starters who did not record a hit last night, the other being Nick Fortes, who went 0 for 4, but he did score twice. Yandy Diaz in the leadoff spot against a left-hander. 4 for 5, 4 RBI, 4 runs scored. The guy is an absolute hitting machine. And that is the formula. As much as I want Chandler Simpson in the leadoff spot every game. But I'm not going to argue with Kevin Cash and the geeks upstairs with the pocket protectors and everything else. Well, when they decide to put forth their recommendations, well, there's a lefty on the mound. Let's move Chandler Simpson down to the 6 hole. Chandler had a hit last night, and actually he's below 300, and he's actually cooled off over the last couple of weeks. But when the Rays decide to put Yandy Diaz in the leadoff spot against lefties, how in the world can you question anything that the Rays are doing right now? And all Yandy does, he goes out there, he goes 4 for 5 with 4 RBI, and he scores 4 times. Heck of an effort. Judy Caminero, 3-run homer. He homered, drove in 4. He scored 3 times. Ryan Valade went 3 for 3 with 3 RBI. Everybody got in on the act. Everybody. Johnny DeLuca, 2 for 5, 3 RBI. Richard Palacios came off the bench and went 2 for 2, scored twice, and drove in 1. The Rays put on a show last night. And if you're at the game and you're walking out of there thinking, this team's for real. We now have the best record in all of baseball, a season high 16 games above 500 at 31-15. They continue their dominance at home. They're 17-5 at home. Right now, everything is clicking when it comes to your Rays. Kevin Cash, after the game, was talking about the versatility of this offense, which is equipped to score in many different ways. It doesn't have to be small ball. They can hit it out of the park. They can hit it into the gaps. They're hitting with runners in scoring position. Here's Kevin Cash afterwards on his team's offensive display.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to find ways to score runs. Sometimes it's going to come with, contact and putting the ball in play, and then some days it's going to you need those big gap shots or home runs with guys on base, and tonight we definitely got those.
There it is again. Is that the quality of the audio? But because we talked about this yesterday, in the background you can hear that bass is thumping, man. Those guys in the locker room, they're having a grand old time, especially when you score 16 runs and you beat down the Orioles, and the Rays continue their dominance, by the way, against the American League East. Holy cow. That bass was pumping. Let's hear Kevin Cash on the offense in general tonight. I want to hear if the bass is going in this sound clip. Hit it.
Just a lot of really good at-bats. I mean, Rogers is tough, and I felt like, we had some good at-bats, made him work. He relied heavy on his fastball, and we hung in there on some well-located fastballs, got some pitches we could handle, and a lot of our damage obviously came with runners on base.
Hey, turn it down. Maybe somebody was yelling. I don't know, because I didn't hear anything. The Tampa Bay Rays have improved their record against American League East competition to 11-2 after last night. And when they score first, they're now 22-5. Holy cow. Against the American League, 21-4. As long as, we talked about this yesterday, as long as the core of this team, Chandler Simpson, Jr., Yandy, even Aranda, when Aranda went down last year, we felt the effects and we saw the effect and the impact of not having him in the lineup. The Rays really struggled. I mean, those 4 guys have to stay upright. And the three starting pitchers right now who have really led the way, and Drew Rasmussen, Shane McClanahan, you saw him last night, and Nick Martinez, really it's those 7 guys. They have to stay healthy. That right now is the core of this team. If those 7 guys stay upright, there's no telling how great this team could be in 2026. They are the surprise of Major League Baseball. They have the best record in Major League Baseball currently at 31-15. They've been dominant at home. When they score first, they don't give up the lead. Their style of play has been frustrating to face for a lot of different teams, and certainly the Orioles found that out last night, although the Rays were really flexing their muscle more often than not. If those 7 guys stay upright the entire season, then this is more than just a flash in the pan, folks. This is a team that is not going to go away as long as those 7 guys, the core of that team, the 4 positional players we talked about, Yandy, Aranda, Jr., and Chandler, and the 3 starting pitchers. The bullpen has been banged up. They blew some games early in the first week of the season, but they have stabilized themselves. Hopefully they'll get a little bit healthier moving forward, and health appears to be an issue. It always is with this team. But as long as the 4 position players and Rasmussen, McClanahan, and Martinez stay upright, yeah, this team is going to continue doing what they're doing between their style of play and the pitching and the run prevention and the defense. You saw Taylor Walls doing his thing again last night. And he also contributed offensively, by the way. 2 hits, scored 3 times. There's no telling. There is really no cap on what this team is capable of doing as long as those 7 guys can stay healthy for the most part the rest of the way. Heck of an effort last night, and I have no doubt that this will continue as long as they continue to avoid the big injury, at least of those 7 guys. Like, there are other injuries that they've dealt with. Pepio obviously being out for the year, Gavin Lux being out indefinitely. Steven Matz has been out for a couple of weeks, comes back on Wednesday, so we'll find out what that ends up looking like, the Wednesday afternoon game. But, folks, this team is real. They're not going anywhere. I think the rest of the American League and the American League East is finally realizing that fact, that concept. And it's really breathtaking to watch. It's a lot of fun to watch. I did notice, by the way, the fans down in the left field area, I guess that whole thing started at a Cardinals game over the weekend. It's a college baseball team. They took off their shirts and they were waving it around, tarps off or whatever they're calling it. I saw Raymond got involved, and the players did take notice of it. So I would imagine that sort of thing's going to continue. Why not? Go out there, have a good time. Why the hell not? It's a baseball game. Let's have some fun, as long as it's in a responsible manner. But this team is getting it done right now. They are a well-oiled wrecking machine offensively. And look, McClanahan, 90 pitches, 5 innings, 4 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. It wasn't the McClanahan we saw in the previous 4 outings, but guess what? He didn't have to be last night. That's the beauty of baseball. And I know we talked about that after the game. Hey, that's baseball. You know? Sometimes it doesn't go exactly the way you want it to go. But Shane McClanahan after the game talking about how this team is just scratching the surface as to how good they can be. Here's Sugar Shane.
I just think, we're just scratching the surface a little bit. And, I think tonight was a good glimpse of, if we're firing and what we can do. And so hopefully we keep this momentum rolling, tomorrow, the next day, and, hopefully the rest of the year. And we keep putting up 16 like that, I'm going to have a lot of fun on the mound.
He's right. Listen, any starting pitcher wants that kind of run support. Heck yeah. All you got to do is just throw strikes and make your defense behind you work. And when you have a guy like Taylor Walls, how about that play he made in the hole last night and the throw that he made? Incredible. And I'm telling you, man, defensively, there's nobody else in baseball I would rather have defensively at shortstop than him. You can get, I know Bobby Witt, and we talked about this the other day, and I did mention his name. Bobby Witt is one of the best all-around players in baseball, and certainly very good defensively. But what we're seeing out of Taylor Walls, I mean, that is an exceptional asset. And honestly, there's nobody else I would rather have defensively than that guy at shortstop. Nobody.
Tom, how we doing?
We're doing great, Taylor. Keep up the good work, buddy. Offensively, defensively, he's contributing too. And he looks really confident at the plate. And it's great when you have the big four, and then you have the supporting cast after the big four, and he's one of those guys, Johnny DeLuca, Taylor Walls. Sometimes it's Nick Fortes, although last night it really wasn't Fortes, at least offensively, that was doing his thing. Ryan Valade ends up with 3 hits and 3 RBI. They're getting it from a lot of different sources. This team is a juggernaut. Nobody wants to play this team. Nobody. And the Orioles found that out firsthand last night. Hopefully the Rays can keep it going. Game 2 is coming up tonight. Of course, you can listen to all the action right here on your home for Rays baseball, WDAE. And it begins with Ronnie Lane and Hardball at 5:30 to get you set for Game 2 of this 3-game set tonight between the Rays and the Orioles. You saw Pete Alonso's return last night, the Tampa product. Tonight, it's Griffin Jacks against Kyle Bradish. 2 lefties started last night. 2 righties go tonight. So with a righty on the mound for Baltimore, I would suspect that Chandler Simpson, friend of the program, would be back in there in the leadoff spot.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. So be ready, buddy. I think you're batting leadoff. Boy, oh boy, this Rays team. Man, oh man. I know it's only 46 games. We still have a ways to go. We've been talking about this every day, and we've been waiting for that regression. This team is going to regress, right? We're waiting and waiting and waiting. And look, they're going to lose some games here and there. I don't expect them to win 110 games, and that's what they're on pace for, basically. When is that regression coming? When? They went 25-9 last year. And then they hit a wall right around the All-Star break and everything else. And now they're on a 29-10 run. After starting the season 2-5, the Tampa Bay Rays have won 29 of their last 39 games. And it goes a lot deeper than that in terms of the win streak and everything else. You know, right now, this is a team that's playing with a ton of confidence. This is a team that's getting it done. The pitching is there. The defense is there. The offense had a prolific night last night at the plate. There are a lot of positive vibes with this Rays team moving forward. I don't expect them to score 16 runs. I mean, that's probably asking a bit too much. But this is a team right now that owns the best record in baseball. And they're playing like it. You hear the bass pumping in the locker room after the game. You heard it right there with McClanahan. You heard it the first clip we played with Kevin Cash. They're having a good old time, and it's a tight-knit group. 6 of their last 8 they've won, 13 of 16, 19 of 23, 26 of 34. They've won 8 straight series openers. If they win tonight, that's going to clinch their 8th consecutive series win and 29 of their last 39. This is Tampa Bay Rays baseball. This is how it's being done. And as long as those 7 guys stay upright, I have no doubts that it won't continue. Now, I don't know if they're going to score 60 runs a game, but this is a team that really is playing great baseball across the board. Great baseball. and I hope it continues, and I think it will continue. Your thoughts on your Rays, 888-388-0957. Text at 82945. We'll talk to Ken Babby at 3:05. There's a big day coming up tomorrow for the Rays. Tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, involving some votes on the non-binding MOU regarding the stadium. What are the Rays expecting there? Ken Babby will join me at 3:05. A mystery Rays player. Who will it be? Who's calling in at 3:30 this afternoon to talk to us? It's not going to be Eric Neander.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But we will get a Rays player joining us at 3:30. And
as you just said that, I started writing some
well,
things.
write it down, Kevin Cash. You guys are firing at all cylinders. And then a little
Even
bit.
though you motherfucker everything we do.
No, that's not true. Not lately. And then fill in the blank coming up at 4:30. We're on the air to 5:30. And Purpose Pitch with Ronnie Lane coming up then.
It's exciting!
It is exciting, Coach. We'll get into the Bucks in just a little bit. When we come back. Oh, I love Tuesday. We have our 2 for Tuesday features. The Rays will win the American League East. Take it or leave it is coming up next here on The Drive.
You're tuned in to The Drive with TKras.
All right, great to have you with us. The Drive on this beautiful Tuesday across the bay and beyond. The Drive is driven by our guys over at Moss Nissan, and their goal is to always never lose your business over price. TKras and Chris Matt this year offering great deals in the month of May. That's how they do it over at Moss Nissan, such as 0% on the Rogue, the Murano, the Pathfinder, and the Frontier. And bring Moss Nissan your best deal. If they can't beat it, they will give you $500.
And at Moss Nissan right now, they are making car selling easy for you. If you're looking to move off of your current vehicle, they will buy that off you, even if you don't buy your next vehicle from them. But here's a little secret. You're going to want to. If you check out the inventory on the lot right there or even the website, you're going to want your next car to be from Moss Nissan. Plus, every new car sold at Moss Nissan this month helps support the ALS Association. It's a $50 donation with every new car purchased at Moss Nissan.
Which is a great deal in itself. Plus, Moss Nissan is also offering Sunday service hours. So bring your car in on Sunday. They will service it. Sunday service hours go from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at their 3 Tampa Bay locations. Check them out, North Tampa, Newport Richard, Brooksville, or online at mossnissan.com. Moss Nissan, whatever